Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Jim. Time for a book haul video. I have not done a book haul in a long time. It's been a few months, I think. But I made a order on eBay at the seller called Thrift Books. A lot of you probably buy books through them. They're very big. And I wanted to start by, this was like the whole impetus for it. And that was, I got the Great Books of the Western World Franklin Library edition of Montaigne's Essays, Volume 3, which I was missing. I found this at a decent price. You have to be very patient when you're looking for these titles. They don't come up all that often, and usually I'm priced out. Like sellers want too much for them, and you don't typically see them on the big sellers like Thrift Books. But in this case, it showed up. It had a photograph. I confirmed it was what I needed. There's 3 volumes. They split Montaigne's Essays into 3 volumes in this Great Books of the Western World Franklin Library edition. These, let me show you the end papers and also title page. Here's the sorry, I'm moving around doing this very low tech today. That's 25th anniversary limited edition, translated by Donald Frame. And these are the contents. So this completes my Franklin Library, Great Books Western World, Montaigne. 3 volumes, got them all now. I've bought volumes 1 and 2 last year. This volume is, I think, in even better condition than the 2 that I bought. Number 1, that doesn't smell as much. But I got this for under $30. I'll put it that way. I don't remember the exact amount, but then, as is usually the case on eBay, they'll give you these offers that'll say, buy 3 books and get another 15% off. So that got me hunting for some other stuff on my want list, and I came across some other books that were well, all these actually were on my want list. This was the next volume is the Penguin Book of Hebrew Verse. I like the cover a lot. I first became acquainted with this through the Penguin Classic book. I think it's by Henry Elliott is his name. It's an orange cover. I featured it on this channel before. And this was listed in there. This particular edition, which came out, it's edited by T. Carmi, C-A-R-M-I, and it's from 1982. This was not part of the Penguin Classics initially, but later they folded it into the Penguin Classics. So you can find this with a Penguin Classics cover on it. But I just thought this came up when I did a search on Thrift Books, and I do like the cover a lot. And I sprung on it. It was a very cheap price, and with the 15% off. This covers Hebrew verse from biblical times all the way up to the 20th century, although it's a little bit limited on its 20th century offerings because of, I think, copyright restrictions, rights, permissions. But what I didn't realize about this book is it gives you, first of all, it's got a lot of notes, which is helpful, but you get the Hebrew along with prose translations of the poems. That is pretty cool, something different. I don't read Hebrew, but it's sort of nice to see the original language side by side with the English translation. So that checked the box for me because I had that on my want list, and was happy to find it. This was also on my want list. It is the collected stories of William Faulkner. And this is in my favorite edition of Faulkner, paperback editions published by Vintage, in that font style with these very atmospheric photographs on the front. One of these days, I guarantee I'm going to get around to featuring all the books, the paperbacks I have in that particular edition. They're all together on the shelf. This is added to them. And I've been spying this, like when I do go book browsing on eBay, and have not sprung to it for it yet, but I was building up my order, getting that 15% discount, nice cheap price. And I thought, let's go for it. Let's pull the trigger, and that's it. So this includes all his short fiction. There's the second page of the contents. And I'm happy to add this to the collection. I'm thinking of starting Absalom again. I did not finish it the first time, didn't get too far into it, but that was one intention for this summer, was to tackle that book by Faulkner, and I pick up with my Faulkner reading program. So when I get around to that is maybe when I'll do my little book tour of all these. I just find these like very atmospheric, these editions. Really, really love them. And I've got almost a complete set. I think there's 2 titles that I'm missing, and I'll talk about that when I get around to making a video. Okay, there's 3 more books left. This was also on my want list, Plato, Early Socratic Dialogues. I was reading about this in the Penguin Classics reference book as well. These are edited with general introduction by Trevor Saunders. I think there's various translators for them. But the reason I got this was there are a few dialogues in here that are not in the Great Books of the Western World set. I don't have my Plato volume with me, so I can't run through that to you. But this includes the dialogues Ion, Laches, Lysis, Charmides, Hippias Major and Hippias Minor, and Euthydemus, and an appendix containing some fragments of Aeschines of Sphetus, which I think gives you some fragmentary material about Socrates, or possibly dialogues, I'm not certain. Anyway, I thought I had read all the dialogues. Apparently I have not, so I need to rectify that, and that's what this volume was all about. This was the, I call them Penguin third series of the Penguin Classics, with these covers with like the kind of cream yellow borders. And this is from 1987. Good condition, happy to get it. Check that off the list. This was also on my want list, and it completes my collection of Ovid, the great Roman poet. This is Fasti. I think this was his last work, and it is a celebration. It's actually a series of poems. He didn't finish it, but the idea is it's a calendar of daily rituals from Roman culture, weaved together with tales of the gods and the citizens. So it's about Roman history, it's about religious beliefs and traditions. This folds in nicely with my Life of Numa Pompilius by Plutarch that I just covered, because it has me thinking about those Roman traditions. And I needed to complete my set of Ovid's works. I'm pretty certain I've got everything now, and this one's translated by translated and edited with an introduction and notes by A.J. Boyle and R.D. Woodard, W-O-O-D-R-D, and our year of publication, first published 2000, the reprints from 2004. So yeah, I have not read all the works of Ovid. I've read probably about 75% of what I have. But this was written when he was banished to the Black Sea city of Tomis in modern day Romania, I believe. And he was miserable there. Remember, Ovid was banished for some kind of scandal that he became aware of or participated in, and the Emperor Augustus sent him packing off to Tomis, cold, harsh borders of the Roman Empire, where he wrote some of his last poems, including Fasti, which he never finished. I think he got through about 6 months worth of the calendar. Happy to find that eventually, finally. Again, great. So all those books we've seen so far are books that were on my want list. And then to finish the order, I'll share a biography that I knew nothing about until a kind reader sent me an email and said, a kind viewer sent me an email and said, I've enjoyed your Proust videos, and did you know there was a biography of C.K. Scott Moncrieff, which I did not know about, and he gave me the title, and I looked it up on Thrift Books, and there it was, nice price, and I sprung for it. So this is a hardcover ex-library edition of Chasing Lost Time, The Life of C.K. Scott Moncrieff, Soldier, Spy, and Translator, by Jean Findlay, who I think is a great grandniece of C.K. Scott Moncrieff. And I've started reading this, not too far into it yet, but I'm excited to learn more about that. My taste for biographies has increased lately. I'm really enjoying all the biographies I've read in the last year or two. So this adds to that list. I don't think it's going to take me too long to read it, and I'm excited to learn more background about Moncrieff. He was a veteran of World War I, also a homosexual, so there's a lot about his love life in here. He was, I think, mainly a closeted homosexual. Not too many people knew about it. And then also this great translator. He didn't just translate Proust, he translated a lot of other authors, but this is one of the most famous translations in English literature, and I'm excited to learn more about that. So thanks to my viewer for that recommendation. Really happy with this book haul because it's just kind of filled a lot of holes for me, and it's stuff that I want to get around to reading real soon. Started reading the introduction to the Socrates already. I've started the Moncrieff biography. The Faulkner's going to wait maybe for another couple weeks. The Montaigne is sitting nicely, looks great on the shelf with the other 2 volumes. And then the Fasti will be added to my Ovid shelf. This is how it all started, though. Great Books of the Western World, Essays, Volume 3. You got to be patient with these Franklin Library hunts, because if you're patient and you periodically look on the used book sites, stuff will come up that's affordable. It's just going to take time. And I'm glad I waited, and I'm glad I found something where it was just volume 3. This was the only one I needed, which is not always the case. Usually they sell them all 3 in the same set, or you'll get a couple volumes. So yeah, got lucky. It was just luck. That's my book haul for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments on these books, you want to share what you think of them, always welcome to comment down below. Thanks everybody for watching, and hope to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.